understand the importance of a child being in school and not missing school. I also do understand the importance of a child as a parent going to school when they are healthy. Hey tribe, welcome back to my channel. My good name is Judy. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time coming across this pretty face, please consider subscribing to this channel. I do cooking vlogs and general vlogs on day in the life as a millennial mom, as a wife, as a business person. So we are good vibes, right? So welcome to the family. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified every time I put out a new video. Anyway, so today I'm just going through a roller coaster of emotions, and I thought I would share this with fellow parents to hear what your thoughts are and how you handle such situations. By the title of the video, I'm asking how sick is a child for them not to go to school. I think I'm looking at this in two perspectives, as a parent and then as a teacher, because I've been a teacher for a couple of years, 7, 8 years, and then at the same time I've been a parent for 15 years. So on both ends, I understand the importance of a child being in school and not missing school. I also do understand the importance of a child as a parent going to school when they are healthy. So the past couple of days, my son has been unwell. He took ill, I think, last weekend. So he started complaining of headache and then dizziness. And because he's a very active footballer, I, for some reason, thought that he was physically stressed, dehydrated, and so usually I don't always rush to hospital or rush to get medication for him when he's sick, or even for myself, unless it escalates and I discover or realize that this needs medical attention. So that happened last week. By Monday morning, he was still not feeling good. So we went to hospital. The doctor ran. Actually, at first, I didn't go to hospital. I have this pharmacy where we have gone for drugs. We buy drugs or medication for the longest, I think for like 8 years or more. So I went to this place, and usually when you go to this doctor, he's a doctor himself who runs a pharmacy, but he does not run the tests. He just, you go with your prescription and then he's gonna give you the medication that was prescribed to you. So I took him to this doctor, and he advised, go to the lab, get him tested, then bring me the results. So we did that. He actually was very specific on what he wanted him to be tested on, but when we went to hospital, uh, they did run a couple of tests on him, and only one came out positive, which they said he had, I don't know, did they say, was it a blood infection or something? Yeah. So they gave us a prescription. We went back to the pharmacy, got the pills, and we went home. Unfortunately, that Monday when my son took the pills, he still did not feel better. The second day, by Tuesday, he still was not feeling better, zero improvement. So I went back to this doctor again at the pharmacy, and I told him the malaria test, because he had recommended, going by the symptoms my son was showing, he had recommended a malaria test, but the malaria test came out negative. Then they ran another test, which came, the one for the infection came positive. So he gave me some malaria tablets. There is something he explained. He explained an analogy that I wouldn't be able to explain, but he prescribed some malaria tablets. And when my son took those, that same day, an hour later, he was already feeling good. So we felt like this was the reason why he was not improving. Maybe your malaria feature somewhere, for lack of a better word. So he missed school Monday and Tuesday. A part of me felt 2 days is too much because my son is a candidate. He's in 9th grade. But then a part of me as a parent feels I cannot release a child to school who lacks even the physical strength, because I could see how drained he was. My child is not the children who pretend to be sick just to be home. He loves being in school. So him saying he's not even comfortable to go to school, he does not feel strong enough to go to school, gives me enough reason to allow him stay home. However, he was home, but he was doing a bit of personal studies. Now the dilemma is, yesterday, which was Sunday, he started feeling dizzy again. This time no headache, just a bit of dizziness, and that was just about the time we were going to bed. And he took some painkillers, he drank some water, and went to bed. This morning when I woke him up, because when his alarm went on, he did not wake up. That's unlike him. He wakes up about 4:30. I wake up at 5 to pack his school lunch box. So he did not wake up. The alarm went on like 2 times. He did not wake up. So by 5:15, I woke up and found him still asleep. So checking on him, he complained that he was still a bit dizzy. So I asked him, just stay in bed. Let's see how you'll be feeling by 8. Then we decide if you can go to school or not. So I woke him up again at 9, and by this time, on a scale of 1 to 10, he was like at a 2 with the dizziness. So I felt like he had a bit of strength, he could handle the day. Now, this is how I decide on whether my child goes to school or not when he's unwell, from when he was young. If he's suffering or if what he has is a communicable disease, I'll not allow him to go to school, because definitely it's going to pass it on to other kids. Again, another thing that I consider is physical strength. Is he physically strong to go through the day and the day's activities without stress, without also stressing the teachers? Now, this is my understanding and my thought process when it comes to that. Sometimes the child may be on medication, and yes, what they have is not communicable, and granted, they can go to school and run through the day as usual, but you realize that sometimes a child will take medication and they'll start throwing up, they'll be feeling sleepy, they'll complain of nausea and stuff like that. I feel like that's too much responsibility for the teacher, to take care of, and especially for when kids are younger. My child will remember when to take medication, but when it's a younger child, I feel like just keep the child at home if you can, and let them finish the medication, and then resume school when they are strong enough. Those are my thoughts. Now, I say this with the understanding that it's not every parent that has the privilege of having maybe a caregiver to take care of the child where you work. Also, not every parent has the luxury again of being home with their child when they are unwell. Fortunately for me, for the longest time, I've been in entrepreneurship, so I've been self-employed. I've never had to deal with having to request a day off to come and take care of my child, or having to deal with the fear of if I don't show up to work, I'll be fired or something of the sort. So I do understand, and because also I have been an employer, uh, I understood when my staff would come and would call randomly in the morning. They're already late for work, and then they call you and tell you, I'm not able to show up to work because my child fell sick. And I would understand, because at the same time, you're not able to give your all or to be productive at work when you know that you have a sickly child. Okay? So these are the things I consider. If they're not strong enough, if they have a communicable disease, or if they're taking very strong medication, I don't allow them to go to school. When my child was younger and he has medication that he has to take 3 times a day, I would have him stay home. I would always plan myself and organize, and I was in teaching, so what I would do is make sure that on that day when I'm not available, my lessons are taken care of, either give the students work to do while I'm away, and then, you know, cover up for that the next day. This is not a luxury everybody has. Some people work full time, you're not allowed an off day, and it's different for all of us. But I'm interested to know how you handle your kids when they're sick. I'm interested to hear what your take is on when a child can when can a child be home? Is it throughout the sickness until they recover, or is it just like in my case, depending on how sick they are, which I have to weigh? If my child is also not able to feed normally, I'll not let them go to school, because that's again a whole different ballgame. If they're home and I'm looking after them myself, I'm able to switch up diet and switch up, get them fruits if that's what they want. But if they're in school, whatever I packed is what they have to eat. If they cannot eat, then it means they go the whole day without food, right? And for me, that doesn't make sense. Maybe my thinking is because maybe rather the reason I think this way, or I do things this way, is because I went to boarding school all my life, all the way from grade 4 to high school. I was in a boarding school, and in boarding school, you would not be allowed, you would not even be allowed to go to hospital unless you are really, really sick. The school nurse would have to diagnose you and realize that whatever medication they have given you um, is not working, so you need to go to hospital for further evaluation. And I never really struggled with that. And I also do understand, because students will lie that they are very sick, they'll pretend just to be out of school. So there is that understanding as well. But then at the same time, I don't feel like there is reason enough for me to just release my child to go to school, uh, because I don't want them to miss school. My question is, at what cost? What's the cost of letting my child go to school when they are sickly just so they don't miss school? Because at the end of the day, they just might not gain anything, right? That's what I'm thinking. So today I feel like today I should not have let my son go to school, but it felt like he said he was okay, he could handle it, and I told him, in case you can't just let the teacher call me and I'll come pick you up, I'm still waiting. I called the school an hour ago and I was told he's okay. I'm just hoping he survives this day, and I'm hoping and praying that he recovers fully. It's too much stress thinking about a sickly child who is in school while I'm home. I just want him to be okay. And these are just my struggles as a parent. I think parenting is not easy. There's a lot that you have to deal with. So today I have zero morale to work. I'm wondering, has he had his lunch? I packed his lunch as usual. I'm just worried. I just hope that by the time he comes home, he'll be feeling better and that he fully recovers. Those are my little thoughts. You guys share with me. If you're a parent of a toddler, I am one, or a child at any level, just share with us, with the rest of us, what you do and how you handle your sick child, right? Thank you so much for being here. I'll go on and enjoy my cup of black tea. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.